Welcome to ALICE training. ALICE is an acronym for Alert, Lockdown, Inform, Counter, and Evacuate, and it's a new approach to school emergency preparedness. Our old school strategy was to lock down. Originally, that started in the mid 80s in Los Angeles as a response to drive-by shootings in gang neighborhoods. It was a logical response if the shooter is outside the building, but not necessarily logical if the shooter is inside the building. The benefits of the traditional lockdown: very convenient, very easy to alert, one word, and then it gave schools accountability if situations were happening outside. Everyone knew where students were, and everyone could keep students safe. The benefits of the traditional lockdown for an active shooter: it allows them to be in control and it allows them to move freely through the building. So, as a response to the traditional lockdown strategy, ALICE began. And ALICE researched case studies from places like Columbine, the Virginia Tech University shooting, the shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary. And that research concluded that our traditional lockdown strategies were inadequate. The statistics from that research: 98% of incidents are committed by solo attackers. They're committed with a gun of some sort, typically handguns. Another finding was that even people who are shot, 75% of those victims survive their wounds, and 80% of those incidents ended through some use of force. And even though we are training for a school, the most frequent location for an active shooter is a business. If you would like to see more of the research done in this area, these are some of the places that documents were obtained by the ALICE researchers: the Department of Ed, Department of Homeland Security, an FBI study on active shooter incidents in the U.S. conducted in 2014, as well as the states of Ohio, Massachusetts, and Illinois. ALICE is a research-based strategy that provides a proactive approach and gives people options beyond a traditional lockdown. ALICE assumes every incident is different, and ALICE is flexible. Even though the acronym is ALICE, that doesn't mean it's sequential. It increases the odds of surviving an active shooter incident. The A in ALICE stands for alert, and this is initial awareness. Could be through a PA announcement. It could be just from noises and sounds that you hear. But the biggest part of alert is to use plain language. Do not use code words. So it's not code red, it's there's an active shooter in the building. And if possible, the exact location. The L in ALICE is for lockdown. This is not a traditional lockdown. It is including procedures like barricading the door and spreading out in the room. In the old lockdown procedures, typically everybody got in a corner away from the windows, down on the floor. In ALICE lockdown, we want everybody to spread out. We don't want a shooter to be able to breach a room and take aim at one corner of the room and just spray bullets. It also includes counter tactics. Obviously, we want that to be age appropriate. We're not expecting kindergarten students are going to use counter tactics with an armed intruder. But anything that you can pick up and throw at somebody who has breached a room that has a gun is going to interrupt the OODA loop. If you remember your previous training, that shooter has to find a target, has to lock on that target, has to make a decision, and then has to act. And anything that you do to interrupt that causes that loop to have to start over. And then also with lockdown, we're looking for any alternate escape or exit routes. The I in ALICE stands for inform. This is to pass on real-time information. If possible, we'll use video cameras and have somebody that can provide kind of play-by-play. The shooter has moved from the front door to the commons. The shooter has moved from the commons to the high school hallway by the art room, anything like that. And we'll use the intercom if possible, radios, phones, whatever communication method is available. As mentioned previously, the C in ALICE is for counter. This is not fighting. This is countering to disrupt the OODA loop, the shooter's ability to observe, orient, decide, and act. It's also taking back control. We talked earlier about the old lockdown procedures provided the control for the assailant. This allows the victims to take back control. It's a tactic of last resort. It really is an armed intruder has breached the classroom, and now you are really just trying to do whatever you can to save your life. E in ALICE is for evacuate. This is the preferred response. And evacuate means just that. Just get out. Leave everything behind. Don't worry about getting your car. The idea is to remove as many potential targets from the area as possible. And then everybody will convene at a predetermined rally point. For us at WHA, that's St. Agnes Church. And at that point, we will account for the occupants of the building. But first thing you can do, if it's possible, evacuate. Each school year, 5 ALICE drills will occur. We typically begin with kind of a orientation for students in pre-K 5. That's the reading of the book, I'm Not Scared, I'm Prepared. In 612, our teachers typically show students an ALICE PowerPoint. Then we will probably practice lockdown with barricade a couple of times during the school year. We will also go over tabletop scenarios so that we can make decisions. Do we evacuate? Do we lock down? And then we will also do a practice evacuation to St. Agnes. If you have any questions regarding ALICE, you can certainly contact me, Ryan Jensen, in the high school office. Thank you.